Good afternoon, Macy and Jahane. I want to take a few minutes here and cover what we did in class today on section 1-1 in your geometry textbook, which begins on page 5. The topic is points, lines, and planes. These are the three basic building blocks of everything we will do in geometry. And if you look in your textbook, you will see we will not try to define these three terms. Now, on page 5, you see a rectangle there entitled Key Concepts, outlined in blue. As we go through the course, anytime you see one of these rectangles, that means it's a very key point that you need to make sure and understand. The other thing you see are terms highlighted in yellow, such as collinear and coplanar, intersection, and so forth. Those are also terms that you want to make sure when you hear the word collinear, you need to have a picture of the fact that you have several points that are on the same line. As you go through the section, you will notice the first couple of examples, you are given pictures and you have to identify points, lines, planes, and so forth that are in those pictures. And then the second part of your examples, you're given words and you have to draw a picture that satisfies what the words tell you. Now, what I'm going to do now is I will share my screen and I will show you the technique we use to label and to talk about these points, lines, and planes. So, now here you will see what I will do if I come down to the draw command here. A point is just that, it's just a point, right? If you draw it with your pencil, it's just a dot on the paper, okay? Now, it's a dot, okay? Now, points are labeled with capital letters. So I can come in here and say, this is point A, okay? Anytime you have a point, if it's on a line, if it's on a plane, whatever, you identify that point with a capital letter. Now, a line is something that comes across and extends forever and ever in both directions. It normally has a little arrow on each end, such as this, okay? Now, there are two ways or several ways to identify a line. I can use a script English letter, like I can come down here and say, this is line L. Or I can put a couple of points on the line, like let's say this is point B. And this down here would be point C, or any other point, any other letter you want to label it. And then I could talk about line BC, or I could talk about just, I can write the letters B and C, and I can put a double-stemmed arrow on the top, okay? Now this double-stemmed arrow, so I have line L here, I have line BC or line CB, and I have just BC with the double arrows on top of it, okay? Now that's the way you would label or talk about a line, okay? Now, if I hit clear on this, now when you get to a plane goes forever and ever in both directions, top, bottom, left, and right. So the way we draw a plane in this, if I come in here, I can show you, we basically just kind of create a parallelogram type situation like this. So we get right. So if I figure out how to draw this thing, select, okay. Now I can draw and come across like this. I can hit select, draw, can come down like this. And I can come over like this. So we don't try to draw the entire plane. We just let this parallelogram represent the plane. Now, so there are several ways I can do this. Like when I represent a plane, I can use it with a capital script letter like capital B here. Okay, that would be plane B. Or I can pick any 3 points on the plane, like let's see, this is point A. And this point over here would be point C. And this point down here would be point D. And I can talk about plane A, C, D. Any 3 points that are not collinear determine a point, okay? Now, so A, C, and D here are coplanar because they're all in plane B. Now, collinear, if I look over here, like if I draw myself a straight line here, okay, and I can put some points on it, like let's say I point E, and then F here maybe. And then I can put point G over here. Now, I could say that points E, F, and G are collinear because they're on the same line, okay? Now, I'm going to stop sharing here. I will go back to the other screen. So if you look at your homework assignment for tonight, you are looking at problems 1 through 12, and Macy's already done these. If you look at problems 1 through 12 on page 8, if you have any questions, be sure to send me an email. Let me know I'm working on a certain problem, like I'm working on problem 8, and I get to a certain point that I don't understand. I will respond and make sure that you get through the requirement and that you understand what's happening. Any other questions you have, make sure that you send me an email, and I will get back with you once again. I will get back with you tomorrow to keep you posted on where we are. Thank you, and I hope you have a good day.